What does nothing changes if nothing changes really mean? Nothing changes if nothing changes. Have you ever heard that phrase before? It's simple, but wow, it really hits, doesn't it? Let me say it again. Nothing changes if nothing changes. Think about your English learning journey for a second. If you keep doing the same thing every day, maybe watching videos without speaking or thinking you're not ready to talk yet, what's going to happen? That's right. Not much. You'll stay exactly where you are. In this episode, we're going to dig deep into this idea. We'll talk about real mindset shifts, daily habits, and the little actions that can completely transform your English and even your life. This isn't just motivational talk. This is practical, real-world stuff you can start using today. So if you're ready to get unstuck, if you want your English to improve in a real, powerful way, then stay with me until the end. Let's go. Why should English learners care about this message? You might be wondering, okay, this sounds inspiring, but what does it have to do with learning English? Well, here's the truth. Language learning is not just about grammar and vocabulary. It's also about mindset, courage, consistency, and how you respond when things get hard. And for so many learners, maybe even you, progress feels slow or confusing. Maybe you've been studying for months or years, but still feel stuck at the same level. Why is that? Often it's because we're waiting for things to change outside of us. We're waiting to suddenly feel confident, or for life to give us more free time, or for someone to magically fix our English. But the change doesn't come from outside. It starts from the inside. So if you're stuck, this episode is for you. If you're tired of saying, "My English isn't good enough," this episode is for you. Let's begin. Why do people stay stuck even when they want to improve? Let's be honest. Most of us already know what we should do. You probably know you should practice speaking more. You know you should listen more actively. You've read tips, watched videos, maybe downloaded apps. So why aren't you improving as fast as you want? Here's something real. Knowledge isn't enough. You can know what to do, but still not do it. Why? Because change is uncomfortable, even good change. We stay in our comfort zones because they feel safe, and our brains don't like discomfort, even when that discomfort leads to growth. So step one in breaking the cycle is recognizing, I'm not stuck because I don't know what to do. I'm stuck because I'm not doing it consistently. And that's powerful, because once you see it, you can change it. What stops people from taking action? Have you ever told yourself, I'll start tomorrow, or I'm not ready yet, I'll practice speaking when my English is better? That voice in your head, it sounds reasonable, but it's also the voice that keeps you exactly where you are. Most of the time, the real reason we don't take action is fear. Fear of embarrassment, fear of making mistakes, fear of sounding bad. But here's a secret. Everyone sounds bad at the beginning. That's how learning works. And the longer you avoid action, the more fear grows. The only way to shrink fear is to do the thing you're afraid of, even just a little. So if you want to change your English, you have to take action before you feel ready. Waiting to feel ready is a trap. Ready comes after action, not before. What does real change actually look like? Change doesn't always look exciting or dramatic. Sometimes it's just showing up and doing something small. Every single day. 10 minutes of focused listening, speaking to yourself in English out loud, recording your voice, even when you feel awkward. It's not about doing something big once. It's about doing something small and powerful over and over until it becomes part of who you are. Real change is quiet at first. It happens when no one is watching. But over time, it becomes something people notice. They'll say, "Wow, your English has improved." And you'll know, it's because I changed what I do. What role does belief play in your progress? Let me ask you something. Do you believe you can become fluent in English? Really? Because if you don't believe it, your actions will show it. You'll skip speaking practice. You'll avoid challenges. But when you believe it's possible, you act differently. You take more risks. You stay committed longer. Belief is not just a nice thought. It's a foundation. So one of the biggest changes you can make is to say, "I'm becoming a confident English speaker." Not, "I hope to," or "maybe one day." Say it like it's happening. Because if nothing changes in your belief, nothing changes in your results. What happens when we wait for motivation? Waiting for motivation is like waiting for perfect weather. You can't control it. Some days it comes, some days it doesn't. And if you only study when you feel motivated, your progress will always be inconsistent. But here's something better than motivation. Discipline. Discipline means you do the thing even when you don't feel like it. And guess what? Sometimes motivation shows up after you start. So instead of waiting for the perfect mood, just start. Even 5 minutes of practice is better than none. Motivation is a bonus, not the plan. Why is small progress better than no progress? We live in a fast world. We want results quickly, but language learning is slow. It takes time, repetition, and patience. That's why so many learners give up. They don't see fast results, so they think they're failing. But small progress is still progress. Learning one new word today, that's progress. Understanding one sentence you couldn't before? Progress. Small steps repeated create big changes. So don't wait for big results to feel proud. Celebrate the small wins, because that's how fluency is built, brick by brick. What's the danger of staying in your comfort zone? Comfort zones are comfortable, safe, but nothing grows there. If you only do what feels easy, reading, watching without speaking, you'll stay at the same level forever. Growth happens when you stretch a little. It doesn't mean panic or pressure. It means trying something just a little scary, like joining a conversation group, or recording yourself speaking, or asking a question in English online. Yes, it's uncomfortable, but that's the point. Growth feels uncomfortable. That's how you know you're doing it right. Why is consistency more powerful than perfection? Many learners want to be perfect. They want perfect grammar, perfect pronunciation, perfect sentences. But perfection is exhausting. It makes you afraid to speak. It stops you from trying. You don't need perfect English. You need real English, natural, clear, and consistent. It's better to practice a little bit every day than to wait for the perfect moment. Fluency doesn't come from studying once a week for 2 hours. It comes from showing up again and again. Consistency wins, always. How do habits shape your English journey? Let's talk about habits. Habits are the things you do without thinking, like brushing your teeth, checking your phone, or making coffee in the morning. Now imagine if English was part of your daily habits like that. Not a big, stressful task, just something you naturally do. Listen to a podcast while cooking, think in English while walking, Speak to yourself while doing chores. You don't need hours. You need consistency. When you build English into your day, in small, repeatable ways, you create momentum. And that momentum keeps you moving forward even when motivation disappears. So ask yourself, what small habit could I start today? What should you do when progress feels slow? We all hit that wall, that feeling of, I've been studying, but I'm not improving. It's frustrating. But here's what most learners don't realize. Improvement is often invisible at first. It's like going to the gym. You don't see muscles after one workout. You see them after months of repetition. Your brain needs time to build English pathways, to connect words, to feel natural. So when progress feels slow, don't stop. Keep going. Because that invisible work, it's preparing you for a breakthrough. Progress is happening, even if you can't see it yet. Why is speaking the hardest skill to change? Listening and reading are comfortable. You can do them alone. But speaking? That's scary. It's live. It's public. And that fear stops many learners from practicing. Even though speaking is the most important skill if you want real communication, here's the truth. You will never feel 100% ready to speak, but you don't have to be perfect to start. Speaking is like driving, messy at first but smoother over time. The more you do it, the easier it becomes. So speak out loud, to a friend, to yourself, even to your pet. Speaking is a muscle. Use it, or lose it. What happens if you keep waiting? Waiting is sneaky. It feels safe. I'll speak when I know more. I'll start when life is less busy. I'll join that class later. But later becomes never. And one day you'll look back and realize you waited too long. The time to start is now. Not when you're ready, not when things are perfect, right now. Because time will pass either way. The only question is, will you grow or stay the same? Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes. How do emotions affect your learning? Learning a language isn't just intellectual, it's emotional, fear, shame, frustration, embarrassment. All these feelings come up when you try to speak another language. But here's something powerful. You're allowed to feel uncomfortable and still try. Courage isn't the absence of fear. It's action in the presence of fear. When you feel nervous and speak anyway, you're growing. When you feel stuck but keep listening, you're growing. So honor your feelings, but don't let them stop you. Your emotions are part of the process, not the end of the story. What's the power of showing up? You don't need to be the best. You just need to show up. Every day, every week, keep returning to the practice. Even if you're tired, even if you had a bad day, keep showing up. Language doesn't reward talent. It rewards persistence. The learners who improve the most aren't the smartest. They're the ones who didn't quit. So whether you speak perfectly or badly today, show up. Your future fluent self is built one small step at a time. Why should you take control of your journey? No teacher, no app, no method can do it for you. Learning English is personal, and no one will care about your growth as much as you do. That's why it's powerful to take control. Decide what you want. Make time for it. Speak out loud. Make mistakes. Try things. Don't wait for someone to give you permission. You already have permission to grow. So own your journey. It's yours. You don't need perfect tools. You just need the decision to begin. What if you changed one thing this week? Let's make it practical now. What's one thing you've been avoiding? One thing you know would help your English, but you haven't done yet? Maybe it's recording yourself, or joining a class, or speaking with a tutor. Maybe it's just being more consistent. What if you chose one thing, just one, and committed to doing it this week? You don't need to change everything, but change something. Because every change, no matter how small, breaks the cycle. And when you break the cycle, you create momentum. What does success actually feel like? Success doesn't always feel exciting. Sometimes it just feels easier, more natural. You understand someone without subtitles. You reply in English without translating. You speak up and realize, hey, that wasn't so scary. Success is made of these quiet, personal victories, and the more often you feel them, the more confident you become. So don't wait for some big moment to feel successful. Start noticing your small wins, because that's how success grows, one small, proud moment at a time. What will your future self thank you for? Let's end with a question, a powerful one. What is one thing you can do today that your future self will thank you for? It might feel small now, but your future self, 6 months from now, 1 year from now, will look back and say, thank you. Thank you for taking that step, for doing it scared, for not giving up. Remember, nothing changes if nothing changes, but everything can change. If you choose to take one step today, you've got this. Thanks for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.